Hello everyone. I recorded a new video and this one is of the making of a shrug. I wanted to make a bit more dramatic shrug with high neckline. So first I'm sketching the piece and I am adding a fan-like detail. I also wanted to have some lace parts in it that match with the fan-like detail and the biceps, so you will see that in the results. I'm Marjolein Turin, designer of Somnia Romantica. Here you can see some of my work.
I'm a small independent fashion designer living for my fashion designs. Please do not copy my designs. Seeing it as inspiration is absolutely okay though. Also, good to note, I am self-taught. My videos do not display official sewing techniques, and I work in an unconventional and often intuitive way. My videos do not display official sewing techniques. I hope you enjoyed this video.
The choosing of the fabric is a whole process. I first was pretty sure I wanted to work with vintage Spanish bridal lace, but it was a bit too yellow for this project. Then I put some other fabrics together. After gathering all the other materials like the smaller trims and the eyes and hooklet fastening, I got a little epiphany. Recently stumbled upon this lovely lace trim again, and I will use this one. So now we can go to drawing. As you know, I work in a very free way, so it's a lot of freehand drawing. These are parts that were part of a skirt that I made. I reconstructed, or rather deconstructed that skirt, so now I can use these pieces of fabric for the pattern of this shrug. This is actual footage of me thinking. Then onto cutting the sleeves. I want nice open bell sleeves, very dramatic long, so I make them as long as possible. They just touch the ground when you relax your arms, and I like that for the dramatic effect. And they will fall open from about around the elbow. That's me saying hi. Onto the vintage pale ivory lace. I first was trying to figure out if it was mirrored, but sadly it was not. It was too uneven, so then I decided to then not mirror it. Okay, cutting the back part, the neckline, very cute. Then the shoulder part. This is the moment we can go to the lock machine. For this video I decided to take multiple camera angles, and you can tell me which one you prefer. This is the shoulder part that I'm sewing onto the rest of the bodice. Then I'm sewing the part where the panels at the back, the lace panels at the back, will be sewn on. Here, oh yeah, I take it. Here I'm sewing panels on the back together, and then onto always a fun thing, the pleating of the puff sleeves. I'm pleating it first inward, against the stream, and then from the mid I will reverse it. I think that gives a cute effect. I make very dense pleats. Here I'm giving the stretch voile sleeves a nice serger. Recently I've started to wear ear protection during working with the serger. That's because I'm doing it a lot and I noticed a little buzz in my ear. So yeah. So be sure to not underestimate this noise these things make. Sim sim sim. And now I will show it also from the other side. Here you can see very nicely how the serger cuts your fabric while sewing it. Yeah, going to the sewing machine. I'm first going to pleat the broader vintage lace onto the sleeve. I decided to make dense pleats, so one in the mid and one in the smaller part. Then I noticed I had the wrong color of thread in, beige instead of ivory. You can see when I'm pleating against the stream, I make sure that the lace doesn't fold back by putting my two fingers next to it. And here I'm pleating the other way around, and you see that I actually almost don't have to do that. Quite a bit easier. Then I'm using the cute smaller vintage lace to place on the other side of the sleeve. This way I have a lovely double scalloped sleeve and there is no serger seam to be seen. Here I'm sewing the back part onto the lower part, the bodice part. I'm first sewing over the serger line and then I am sewing along with the scallops of the lace. As this is quite transparent lace, I like to cover the serger seam up a bit more and I use this cute little rose trim. It's annoying, very annoying to work with, but it has cute results. Okay, then I was out of lower thread. So yeah, then you have to roll up some new ones and that's always very tedious. I am so impatient while doing this. At the serger machine, now the pieces are connected and the trim is fastened, now I can make the mid-back seam. This is where the fastening will be. So back to the sewing machine and I am attaching the eye and hooklets trim. This is a very specific trim. It's meant to be used for bras. You see there's 3 clasps and then some room for seams. I like to use it for a whole fastening and then use clasps in between, and it actually gives a very cute effect. The other side I first wanted to keep the double rows, but it looked like meh. So then I detach it again and attach it again, but then a single row. So I first torn it away, gave it a serger seam and sewed it on again. Highly annoying. I'm folding this one back because only on one side the modesty panel is needed. After finishing the eye and hookless fastening, I took the small cute lace trim and I sewn it over the serger line. Very careful to not hit your hooks. Here I'm sewing the biceps onto the puff sleeve. The same story as the back panels. I'm first sewing the lace over the serger seam, then I go along with the wavy scallops part, and then I'll be sewing the rose trim onto it. Here I'm sewing the mid-front together. The mid-front will be closed, it will have decorative buttons and the fan detail, sewing it flat, and here is the cute trim again, and then I make sure that it is really mirrored at the front. Yeah. Here I'm sewing the arm seam. When I get to the lace part, I change the fabric type on my serger machine from thick to very thin. Then I am pleating the bell sleeve. They will be open at the front. I'm pleating towards the front, and halfway through I am pleating in the other direction. After that I am sewing the sides of the bodice. I am also attaching the shoulder part to the back. Then I can put the seam around the bodice through the serger. Here I am already making my pleats in the sleeve so I can easily put them through the serger. I am sewing a nice little lace trim onto the serger seam, and then I put a pin where the mid of the open bell sleeve should be, and there I start with attaching the bell sleeve. After that I sew my lace trim onto it. Again, the cute one with the fan-like part. Here you can see how I sew the shoulder part onto the puff sleeve. It looks like a lot of fumbling, but well, it is. And then I put this lace trim from the shoulder part around the lower part of the armpit and back to the shoulder seam. This way everything is cute and covered and you still keep the part with the scallop lace. Then I can sew the neckline. Well, put the neckline through the serger. After that I had a first fit on the dress form. It looks good. Well, it was a bit plain, but I know this will be alright when I finish. At the inside of the seam, the hem around the bodice, I'm putting this cute trim, just because it's neat. And then on the other side, I put this big white scallop lace trim, which I love to use for many things. I make sure it's symmetrical, and well, it was a lot of fumbling and readjusting and a whole drama, but then it was finished. And it looked acceptable, but I later on changed it a bit because I didn't like the mid. I also attached the broad scallop lace trim around the neckline. Was quite okay with it, not entirely sure about the lower mid front, and then I want to add the fan-like piece. I first thought I would use the lace for the whole length, thought it would be cute, but after tons of fumbling and drama, I put it on the dress form and nope, it looks like, I don't know, it's something, but it's not it. So I redid it. I did a less wide piece of lace and then less broad, and then I redid it, which was again a ton of fumbling, but now I was pretty sure it would work out. So here it was on the dress form and I liked it, yay. I know there are many dorky thumbs in this video, and then it was time to choose the decorations. I was already pretty sure that I would use these buttons because they enhance the diagonal style of this piece, and at the back I would use cute little clasps. This is my very ugly box with clasps. I have had it for centuries and it still works, so I can't throw it away, but it's so ugly. And this is my tea box, which is now a roses box. I'm going for the darker ivory rose. Onto the hand sewing, I'm using all the filigrane spare outs of the button to sew it really firmly and really in the right angle. So cute. And after the buttons, I'm attaching a rose, la-di. After that, I'm attaching the clasp. Here the cute little clasp, yadi again, and yay. So this piece is actually by now done. Here is the finished result. Here you can see well the length of the sleeves and how everything comes together. Also the puff sleeves, which are a bit more dramatic than I normally do. Yeah, that's it for today. The next thing I'm going to sew on popular demand by exactly one person will be a waistcoat. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. Be welcome to visit my channel for more creative content. Likes, subscriptions and comments are much appreciated. See you in the next one. Bye bye.